All right, over here in the blue-gray mortgage office down here in West Kennedy.
It's absolutely gorgeous here, Joe.
Off the fifth floor, right? These views over Tampa Bay. I mean, I would call this Tampa Live, wouldn't you say?
Oh, Tampa Live. That's a great name for a podcast.
Hey, coming soon.
And there it was.
The straight from the ashes, the phoenix was born.
Oh, you're a Phoenix, Joe.
Rising from the ashes, just like the phoenix. So today, who do we got on the show today? We got a special crowd with us. We have some local Tampa Live realtors. We have some Florida team leaders, geniuses, marketing geniuses, coming from special guests from West Palm Beach and Volusia County. We also have a mortgage CEO, big boss in town, Tampa Live.
Guru.
Tyler Wynn with Blue Gray Mortgage. You know, thank you, Tyler, for letting us come and use the podcast setup to welcome the Tampa Live family in the house. So we really do thank you, Tyler Wynn. And we'll be getting into the mortgage rate soon because I know a lot of you buyers and sellers and agents are wondering, is the market going to pick up going into 2025? Right? That's going to be a hot topic, and we're going to get to that. But let me first introduce everybody that's here today. We've got the Anello and Iglesias team with us today, right? We have our co-host, Vincent Anello.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. And then we got the Carrowood King, and we have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Check him on Instagram. My guy, Jeff Iglesias. He is in the house today.
Bel-Air Beach.
So, and I'm your guest. I'm your host today, co-host. We're all co-hosts here. I'm Joe Flores with the Flores Lamb team out of Tampa Bay with LPT Realty. So we're going to discuss. But let me introduce my main man, the genius, okay? He runs a team called the Locals Group out of covering Florida, but mainly West Palm Beach, Volusia County, and everything in between. So my guy's name is William Daly. I want to let him, share some knowledge with us, gems for people to pick up on when we talk about marketing. We might be talking about online, SEO, and a lot of that acronyms that majority of us don't understand. So we're going to let him break that stuff down for us.
Good thing we got Bill here. Hey, welcome, Bill.
William Daly, thank you for stopping by Tampa Live today.
Thank you, everybody. And if you guys can't see, Joe's making me blush. So thank you for that intro. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Tampa looks great. I see the bay behind me. Florida boy, born and raised. So I love having water around me all the time, man. So yeah, it's awesome. What are we talking about today?
So, you're in town today. Why are you in town in Tampa today? You took this trip, and thank you for stopping by. I know you're a busy man. You're doing events. We'll get into a little bit of that. Really big events. If you're into the entertainment world, this is the type of guy that's behind the scenes making the movies happen. But we will get into that as well, right?
But this event that we're out here for today, can I? Do you want me to be honest with it?
Yeah.
How honest do you want me to be?
Just let
9
us.
out of 10.
No, 9 out of 10. Let us know why are you stopping your daily schedule to leave Palm Beach, LA, California, Volusia County to come to Hillsborough County here in the Blue Gray studio. So.
Yeah, no, Tampa's definitely, it's a great market. We have tons of friends over here, like you guys here, right? But with the industry and some of the pivots that we see in the industry, I just really feel like I get drawn to certain areas for that to kind of make that presence. Like I feel like Tampa needed it right now. I feel like there's a lot of things kind of going on here that having a really strong presence as a team, as a brokerage, as a team, as like business affiliates, I think that was important just right now.
Right now. So you're coming to educate, you're here to cross-brand yourself with the Tampa market, or you're here to share knowledge with other agents to help them grow and wake up, shake the tree, right? Let agents know you need to be closing more deals out there.
Oh, yeah.
And listen to someone who comes with a background of getting it done, right?
Yeah, and I don't have, I never have the reservation of feeling like I am giving to a competitor. I don't view people as competitors. I don't look at it that way.
It's a great mindset.
I look at people as just people, and I know that everybody does things differently, and I welcome a challenge. I never want to be considered the number one. I don't like being a number one. I feel like if I do number one ever, my job's done. So I like having a number one that's always giving me the challenge, right? The Goliath that I want to take down. Otherwise, I have no drive. So real estate is always finite, business itself, it's always finite. It's never definitive, right? So it's kind of like once you've made the transaction and it's complete, it's kind of like what's next, which I don't know how much you guys want to talk about some of those pivots in the industry, but we all see them. That's why all those new pivots exist, whether it's cloud-based brokerages, joint ventureships, all of those different things that we now see in the industry.
Great
because
point.
they know that real estate as transactionally is finite. It's not definitive.
Exactly. It's bigger than even just the you outgrow the boutique brokerage. And for myself, I outgrew that space because I wanted to collaborate more with more agents across the state, across the country.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so that was one of the reasons why we've gone to a cloud-based brokerage, and you're speaking of how the transition's happening right now in our real estate world. We originally know the brick and mortars type of space, right? Go into the office and just work, and you just work your town. But now cloud-based brokerage and what that's allowing, the opportunity that's giving us, the agents, to think bigger in another way. Want to say, Vinny?
Absolutely. And I know we're talking cloud-based, and we're kind of stepping out of the brick and mortar, but at the same time, you know, Joe, you've set up this wonderful LPT hub in Tampa, the Carrollwood hub. You know, it's something that we can all still come to. We still have that brick and mortar to come in and do our business. But again, the opportunity to grow, expand, network within a giant cloud community is still out there.
It's definitely out here. And he was speaking of, we've just recently opened up the Carrollwood Tampa LPT Realty Hub. And the purpose for that space, it's a workspace for agents to know that they do have a home to come and work out of.
And collaborate.
Collaboration over competition is something that I think that we all believe in. Is like William Daly was saying, he's not coming out here to look at everybody as really necessarily as a competition. We're coming here sharing thoughts and opinions and getting new ideas and sparking new energies. And it happens through crossing paths and collaborating, going out to events, going out of your comfort zone, because deals aren't just going to get done sitting on your couch and your laptop. You got to be in the field. If you want to be that successful agent, you've got to cross paths, shake hands, how they say, kiss babies and all that good stuff. Like you want to build relationships with people. And it happens by stepping out. When I go to an open house, for example, I might go to an open house. I don't know who. I might come across an agent, or even at the gas station, just by going out the house. I've gotten a deal where I had my name tag on. Went to an open house, got done with the open house, went to the gas station to pump gas, wasn't thinking about it, went in to pay for it. The last person on my mind was the cash register lady behind the cashier register. She was the one, she was like, "Hey, are you a realtor?" I was like, "Yes." She was like, "Hey, my husband out there who's cleaning the parking lot, he's trying to sell our house, and I don't think he could sell the house. Can you come by and help me out?" And those little situations happen that were not planned that morning, right? It wasn't necessarily planned for me to go out and pick up that listing, but because I was out in the field putting the energy in the universe, went to do some type of real estate business, and then I ended up crossing paths with a lady that wanted me to go and list their house that her husband was trying to sell for 6 months. Didn't. I got it. I staged it, sold it for probably $40,000 more than what they were going to sell it for.
That's right. It's incredible how these things flow to us too.
Yeah.
You're a pillar of the community, Joe.
Yeah, well, and it's funny that you're saying that. I mean, that's the reason why I had Joe involved with what we're doing today. Is the topic he's covering at the event we're doing today is how to stay in front of people and kind of be that pillar of the community, because kind of just feeding off of the story that Joe just told, a lot of people that are in this industry, all the examples he just gave are natural for him. But what I heard was a lot of barriers of ego that he is okay with, that he breaks down, right? And people can call those vulnerabilities as well, right? But when you hold an open house, some people don't like to hold it because they feel like they're too good to hold it. They don't wear a name tag because they feel like they're too good to wear a name tag. They don't represent themselves, and like Joe said, put it out there. And that is what I think, and just knowing from Joe, just being from the outside looking in, that's what he's good at, is staying in front of people for sure. And the more that he's able to do that, we were just having a conversation over here, and the analogy that I've been using a lot lately that I did steal from my pastor was, but I made it relative to business because it always goes in that direction for me. But we're in business, and especially in real estate, and back to the whole we're not competitive, is we're all the analogy of birds, right? All different kinds of birds, being cloud-based brokerage, doing the brick and mortar. The brick and mortar is your nest. Not every bird has a nest, right? They migrate, they fly free. Some of them fly with packs, some of them fly solo. But the analogy really, when it comes down to business, is no matter what, when a business is that nest, you still have to, the bird has to leave the nest to collect its berries, its grub, its rodent that it kills. Nobody drops it off at the nest, right? So you still have to be available as that bird to fly, to collect everything to bring back to your nest, to sort it out. Again, what I really think he's good at. Everything that he did, whether it's the name tag being a berry, whether it's the open house being the rodent, right? Using those as the analogies, he collects them all and then he brings it back and he sorts it out. That's really what subconsciously his brain, and when I hear these stories, my brain is thinking his brain is really doing that subconsciously without him even knowing he's doing that because he's a bird. And he's that kind of bird.
The secret sauce on the Tampa Live Podcast.
Be a bird.
Yeah. And be okay with being the kind of bird you are. Yeah. Right?
Right.
Some birds, like I was saying, man, they climb through the muck. You're right. They have to that's what they do. Their legs are long, their necks are long, their beaks are as well.
I feel like I'm a penguin.
Yeah, could be. But everybody loves a penguin. Everybody loves a penguin. Be okay with a penguin, man. They can't fly, right? They waddle a little bit when they walk. But who doesn't?
I am not going to look at you the same from now on.
Who doesn't like a penguin, right? And the best penguins are the ones that put them chests out and they're like, bro, I'm all right with being a penguin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's Vinny and Mello for sure.
Yeah, man. That's right. But you know that everybody needs to play their part, man.
No, that's really dope.
That was really
man.
good.
That was really good. So Jeff Iglesias, man, you got it. We got Jeff Iglesias, Vinny Anello. They're a Tampa Bay veterans. You know, they've been around for a while. You guys had some really dope. Share with everyone the recent closing that you had, and the reason why it's so special is because growing up in Tampa Bay, everyone knows the place where your last sale came from, right?
Oh, that's not our last.
Well, I'm just there's one that's sticking on my mind, but I'm excited to announce to let the people know that you know, when we go downtown Clearwater, where the clubs are at, the cigar bars and all that, everybody looks across the street, and this is really dope condo right there across the street, like on the main spot. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened there?
So we sold a top floor unit at the boutique building in the residence at the Sand Pearl Resort. You know, that's a really
Sand
long
Pearl.
title,
Okay,
but it's a special place. It's a 3-story boutique building with 4 units per floor. That's on the pool deck next door to. It's an elevated pool deck that's like 3 stories up in the air. Right adjacent to the tower condominium unit at the Sand Pearl Resort. And it was a record price per square foot. It was an 1,800 square foot unit that we sold for over $2.3 million. So
The market is still moving, you guys.
The market
Don't
is
let people
still
tell
moving.
you that it's slowed, that it's stopped, that it's people aren't buying, people aren't paying money for properties anymore. The interest rates are too high. It's just a bunch of excuses. People are still out there buying properties. People are still out there selling properties. And we're out here making a living every single day doing it.
So the game doesn't stop, you mean?
It never stops.
It stops for the people that are overthinking of how it's going to stop them, but you know.
Right. I was just telling a buyer lead this morning that I picked up. You know, he was telling me, oh, well, how about if I just rent for the next 6 or 8 months so watch the rates drop? And I was like, well, yeah, you could. I mean, if you're trying to shy away from a 6% interest rate to pay 100% on your rent payment, you know, that's fine if you want to go that route. But if you're in the position to buy now, buy now. Mm-hmm. Let the rates come down. You can always refinance in the future. Make sure you talk with your loan officer about that. Make sure that you know that that's in your game plan. But make the game plan now if you can.
No, I agree with you, and we are in the Blue Gray Studios right now.
Absolutely.
So we have the best of the Bay in the house today, and that is Tyler Wynn with Blue Gray Mortgage. We want to give them a big shout out. The Blue Gray Studios is fantastic. I think this is really going to be something. This is really the rising of the ashes, the phoenix. You know, because I think today is like the birth of something, a new wave, a new movement for Tampa Bay.
There's so much going on in this industry right now. There's so much happening in the Bay Area. It's like a perfect storm's just coming together for us all to be here and take part in it.
So for all you agents going to these networking events and coaching programs out of state, just know that you are the asset. You are the one providing the value.
That's right.
Meet Tell the agents, hey, I know that your clients, you in Nebraska and Alabama, you've got those clients that are moving to Tampa Bay, Florida, and I am your guy, so I just want to make sure to drop that gem. When you're out there networking, hey, feel good, feel confident that you are from the Tampa Bay. You sell in the Tampa Bay. Let people know that you want to be the referral partner. Do yourself a favor and bring yourself some business by not being a hidden agent. Closed mouths don't get fed, out of sight and out of mind. But hey, my guy, so let's talk a little bit with Tyler Wynn with Blue Gray Mortgage, right? This is our other co-host. He's the boss. You know what I mean? He's the big dog, right? Thank you again for the letting us use the Blue Gray Studios. This place is fire. We looking forward to doing many more Tampa Live shows with Vinny Anello, Jeff Iglesias, Joe Flores, and Tyler Wynn. Shout out William Daly. But Tyler, man, can you give us an update in the mortgage world, the finance world? Because they are scared. Everybody's been on the fence, and they're going to be on the fence for the next 5 years if we don't keep it real with them. So maybe that's what this show is going to be about. Yeah. Let's give them a real and give them a clear path and a clear understanding of, is it a good time for them to buy? Why or why not? What's your thoughts as the mortgage broker in the building?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you guys hit on the nail on the coffin. Right now there's an opportunity in every market, right? Right now the Feds are meeting next week to drop the rates. Most likely it's going to be a quarter drop, so 0.25% drop in rates. And by the end of the year, they're still expecting maybe up to 1 to 1.25%. Probably in a rate drop, right? So again, right now, I'm giving clients, we're in the low 6s at this point in time. And so I have one client that's in the 5s. So the rates are going down. And right now, this is the opportunity, as you guys would probably agree, where you can still negotiate the purchase price. You can negotiate the sellers to pay for closing costs. Because this year, I've never seen so many seller credits where sellers are offering paying closing costs for clients or buying down the rate or whatnot.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is a lot lower right now than it's been in the past. That's 100%. For sure.
And it's funny you bring that up because I just want to bring up the recent scare or the shake of the industry was the NAR results, right? And what I haven't heard anybody say yet is that, which I know it's been on my mind, but just to feed off of what Tyler's saying is thank God that this happened in a buyer's market, right? Like if this would have happened, if those NAR changes would have happened back 2 years ago, and that seller's market,
that could have been nasty.
Yeah, buyer agents would have had a lot more to worry about. But I see so much anxiety in these buyers agents. But it's like, man, you're still in a buyer's market. There's 100%. Still sellers now that are paying for these concessions and stuff like that. You should be okay if your buyer's not able to pay. You should be okay. I would feel confident in this market as a buyer's agent
100%.
if I was still. But you just made me just think about that.
Yeah, no, 100%. So the rate is trending down. So that's what we're getting at. So it should get better. But as you guys know, once the rates keep on going down lower, it's going to be a more competitive market, right? So you won't get that. You won't be able to negotiate the purchase price as much, right? So again, this is a good time to buy still. It's just, I always tell clients, as long as the monthly payment makes sense for you guys, like Vinny said, you could always change the interest rate, right?
Yeah,
you could always change that number. But location-wise, property-wise, that's hard to get sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Inventory is still a little light too.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida for sure.
Especially like in our market here.
Yeah. Too. And you guys, this area here, Hillsborough and all this is changing. I mean, I know you all know this. It's changing rapidly. It's more sought after than it's probably ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And why wouldn't you not want to secure, like you're saying, just off of your point again, why would you not want to secure your location rather than your rate? And I know that's a hard conversation sometimes to have, but we're talking about 6% when you look at if you pulled back what a mortgage is intended for 30 years and those years of interest rates.
And are you really going to live there for 30 years?
No, not me.
Very, very.
Not me.
100%.
I mean, traditionally, again, those are all, and this is what I think the industry is missing is that a lot of agents don't know how to convey data, collect data, how to present it well, right? 100%. To be able to give the customer the right information, because a lot of it can become steering if you're giving your opinion on what is best for them, where data is what really should be presented.
Absolutely.
What's the swing? A lot of people think real estate is a crystal ball. I'm sure we've all heard that. Let me look in the crystal ball of real estate so I can see are the rates going to, but it's not a crystal ball, it's a Rubik's Cube. That's how people have to treat it. You have to constantly be it's not a ball, it's got sides. And every side is mortgage, it's property value, it's inventory, it's who you have in your pipeline, and you're constantly having to move it for it to be, now I got the right colors on my, which I've never solved a Rubik's Cube, just to be clear.
Likewise.
Tyler Wynn, could you introduce and let it be formal? Like, what is your business? Who are you? What do you offer to in the real estate space of the world? What's your business and your position?
Yeah, so I'm the president of Blue Gray Mortgage. We run a team of 10 loan officers, and we're very diverse. We have Spanish-speaking loan officers, Greek-speaking loan officers, Chinese-speaking loan officers. So again, we're very diverse, and I'm big on diversity to be successful, right? But we specialize in creative financing, guys. I think that anybody can get your FHA, VA loans. We love to do them. Don't get us wrong, but we specialize in self-employment clientele. And that's our strength. And I can tell you, whoever's in the mortgage industry, they can tell you that's one of the hardest loans to finance, right? And that's what we specialize in. So we like to get creative. We have outlets. We've been in the business over 10 years, so definitely have the connections with the banks that we work with. And we have a good pool. But it's thanks to you guys, the good partners, good teammates that we work together and collaborate, make the deals go through. So.
Great.
So all the OnlyFans profiles can
All
be
day,
seen.
all day, all
No. Go ahead and
seen it all.
timestamp that right there and cut that out.
I've seen it all.
So, we lean heavily on beach condo properties and upscale residential sales, but, we love a challenge, and
Right.
we've really been cutting our teeth on expired listings, taking on the listings that other agents haven't been
That's
able to
awesome.
sell at any price point, really.
Right.
Marketing makes all the difference, you guys.
We have listings from 150 or 135,000 all the way up to 1.25 million right now.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. And condos are probably, for the past couple of years now, due to Surfside, the collapse of Surfside, it's been definitely challenging, more challenging to finance.
Absolutely.
So again, just doing our due diligence up front definitely helps, just getting the proper condo documentation so we can review it to figure out which banks makes more sense to help the client finance the property.
Yeah, because doing hard stuff makes you better at doing hard
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's what,
That's right.
people don't like the challenge.
What's,
but-
Exactly.
what's the saying? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, man. And, off of your guys' the expireds, my first luxury listing was from an expired. And it was executed because of the marketing that I presented.
Absolutely.
They literally it was expired in a flying community, and it's located over in
Oh,
Port
wow.
Orange.
That's awesome.
And it also kind of bounces back on what you were saying about what Joe's experience, not being too prideful to hold those open houses and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like a lot,
Oh, man.
The expired listings at the end of the day are a lower hanging fruit, and a lot of agents out here are either too afraid to or feel that they've made it past the point of needing it.
People are scared to make the call.
Clients.
Yeah, they don't like cold calling. We hear this a lot with agents that we try to mentor a little bit, and they just don't want to pick up the phone anymore. There's all the rules against calls and how we can make calls, and they're scared they're going to get sued for making a call, or they don't feel like they have the right script to make the call. And I just tell them, listen, it's not even a script thing. It's a personality thing. It's you're gonna, if you pick up the phone and dial enough people, you're gonna find the people that jive with you, that want to do business with you, that want to see you succeed, and they're gonna let you help them. And if as long as you have the tools to back up and support the help that you're giving them, it's gonna be a win-win for both of them.
Couldn't agree with you more, man. I mean, I past 10 years we work with a lot of successful agents, and I could tell you the top agents that we work with, they're good at cold calling. They're good at cold calling, and that's you got to accept that there's going to be more no's than yes, but it only takes a couple of yeses to make a win.
Anybody in sales that
Right.
is here for yeses
100%.
are in the wrong place.
They're in
You
the
should
wrong
wake
place.
up every day going, I'm going to get 300 no's today.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you go to bed happy.
It's a
'Cause you're
numbers
like, I got
game.
all those 300 no's today. I can go to bed now.
It's a thick skin industry. For sure.
Yeah, 100%. Sales is always like that. And I think it just has a lot to do with, sales is culture. That's the thing, is that people really don't talk about that enough. And again, I think that's a big part of what our presentation is for today is the culture of the industry, as far as different businesses working together in different locations. But sales itself really is just culture. And if people look at it that way, having the conversations, getting people to like you, kind of just to feed off of what you guys were saying, those are the things that sell people. It's not the transaction. It's not the house. It's not anything like that. It's you.
Right.
It's liking you.
They have
And
to
once they
trust you.
convince that, it's the same thing with marriage. It's the same thing with even any friendship that you build with anybody. If you're going to play a kickball game we all probably grew up. We all look old enough that we probably played that in here, right? Or if you're gonna like play like street football or basketball or whatever it is, you pick captains. Well, nobody picked scrub captains. People that knew everybody, right? And then they pick the picks off of who's going to be the best team, and then you fill that in together. That's a cultural move. It's not any other thing. It's they want to win the game. They know what you're good at. You've built that trust with them. You can drop the ball. You can stick the ball. Whatever it is. But if everybody had that transparency in business, business would be a lot easier. But we
100%.
don't. Right? Especially you guys, man. The mortgage lenders have one of the hardest jobs because you're discussing finances. One of the hardest things. The realtor has the easy job. We sell the shiny object.
Yeah.
They fall in love with. Right? And then we're like giving you guys all the information is what's always the vulnerability. Are they lying about this? Is there something, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in a couple where, there was a HELOC on that you didn't know about. And it's like, no. Right, and then it's they have this also open and this open. And it's like
And a tax lien.
and all of a sudden this great deal you had going is just like crashing, and you're like, oh my God, this person wasn't honest with me. Right?
That's funny you mentioned that. The first thing I always tell clients is, listen, I'm your cheaper version of your attorney. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm here to help you get to the finish line. So just be transparent, right? That's all I ask for. And all good or bad, right? There's a way around it. There's a way to get, overcome the obstacles. So.
And there's no doubt that buying a home, right, is one of probably the largest financial decision anybody or any couple will make in their lifetime. So putting together the right team around that to help you reach that goal, that's all we are. We're just your team to help you reach your highest potential to get you where you believe that you can make that beautiful life for your family.
That's teamwork makes the dream work, right? And I think that your clients will appreciate that you are affiliating with someone that does have a team. And so speaking of teams, let's talk a little bit about Vinny Anello and Jeff Iglesias. You guys have kind of came together and put something for the Tampa Bay to spearhead this kind of like the luxury world.
Right. And
so can you tell us a little bit more about your particular team that you guys...
Not just luxury.
Okay.
Not just luxury, but we lean heavily towards it. This year we partnered up with my cousin, Jeffrey Iglesias, and, we're able to just provide really just more dedicated service to our clients. That's it. It comes down to that. It's just, before it was all hands on me. Now we have a couple of people to spread that across. And, it's allowed us to really provide that next level of support to our clientele, especially in our luxury business. They really want that. They want to know that at 12 o'clock at night, when Vince is about to have a baby, so when Vince is probably up taking care of his baby, Jeff is there to answer the call, right?
Yeah, I was just in Italy. Vinny was here to take all the calls. Anything that happened, business never stopped. Our clients were serviced the same way that they would be any other day.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a Tampa takeover to me. So, William Daly, you have a team, a group together. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do in the real estate space? About you have a movement going on that's I see everywhere online. You're a beast at anything with online. Go on YouTube and just type in, what was it?
That was Google.
Google. What was it? Google.
I'm pretty sure
Living in
between
Daytona.
10 and 15,000 LPT agents reach out to this guy daily, right?
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, I'm a big fan of, my structure is actually based off of the fire department, which I was at for 15 years. So a lot of it has to do with the concept of span of control, which is the idea that like a human can only properly manage so many people at one time, right? Like if you ever want to get a version of span of control is just babysit like 8 toddlers, right? And then you quickly learn like, okay, this is way out of my scope of practice here. Like I don't want this, right? But that's the way adults are the same way. There's only so many, but I do have a lot of people that do reach out to me, but I make myself available only to people that I can make myself available to for the only reason, because of the same reason that there's so many people that reach out to you.
Right.
So as you guys could all probably imagine, there's a lot of people that are there for serious reasons, and then there's people that may just be there to pick my brain, which I don't unfortunately have time for sometimes. Which I wish I did, but I don't. I'm not father time. That's one of the things I'm not. But yeah, the concept of the locals group and the team that we created was here before we are now, but it was just kind of a different version. But I've always, because I come from that background of like having the desire to work as a team, help people, all those kinds of things. I just didn't want to watch people die anymore, right? So I took on real estate full time. But when I got into real estate, I realized very quickly, because of having so much experience in business and being involved in so many businesses with my family and having ownerships of so many different things, I quickly realized that there was not a lot of structure given, right? And there was not a lot of guidance for these things that people kind of offer you and stuff like that. So I wanted to correct that. So again, that's kind of just my background. And with the businesses that we have, a lot of them are derivative of correction or disruption, is what we consider like disruption these days. But so I wanted to create something that would, at the time, I was spending my money on leads and generating Google PPC, and then kind of putting my own skin in the game, right? Which if you ever ran a team where you do lead generation, you can quickly figure out who's there to service you and really be there and go to bat, and then you can also see who's there to waste your time and money. So unfortunately, a lot of people in the industry are there to waste your time and money. So I didn't want to do that anymore. So I wanted to focus on what people really needed. So people that are producing, what they really need is they need help with a lot of stuff that are administrative, right? Which consists of, but not limited to, CRM management, virtual assistants, having like your follow-up ready to go, your drip campaigns, understanding things like social presence and how to generate leads or be present with results and stuff like that. So instead of being the person that would just pay for the lead, which anybody could do, I really wanted to create something that not a lot of people do, because that's how we find ourselves in like that good niche market. Mm-hmm. So I did it. And then now fast forward to where we are, successfully has 56 total team members.
Incredible.
We're currently got a huge footprint here in the state of Florida, and we're in the Volusia area, all the way up to Jacksonville. We are in Palm Beach County. We are in the Orlando market. We are here in the Tampa market. We're in Fort Myers. And then outside of this, we are in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Nashville, which I'm proud to say that the team leader there, John York, is number 3 in LPT with sales.
Wow.
And then over in Oklahoma, which LPT is not open in, but uniquely enough, the locals group is in, because the rule is that if the brokerage is open there, now you have to be brokered by them, right? But if they're not there yet, you actually have that freedom, but you can actually be affiliated with a team. So that's a little unique. And then we just started to onboard Minnesota and a team there.
Ooh, we got a team with 50. Where you at? I hope you're listening.
Yeah, we have Minnesota that just came on, and then we just, I'm pretty sure, successfully got our first team to develop out in Colorado. So the way that I usually do it is I look for a team leader first, right? Because again, it goes by span of control, and I don't really want to have a team where I have team agents, quote unquote,
right,
that are looking to me for guidance. So instead,
you're a team of teams.
We're a team of teams. We're traditionally in real estate what we would be considered an expansion team, right? That's what it would be. It's not a franchise because we're not franchising, but we are an expansion team, right? So the way that the structure kind of works, and what most people like about it, is the structure of management, right? So we have broker associates that are underneath me. I'm considered a team developer. Underneath the broker associates are team leaders, and then underneath the team leaders are team agents. So team leaders hold autonomy over each market. Tampa, just using that as an example, being one of them. And then the team agents that come under the team leader that's present here is responsible for their business success. They're not responsible for their business. So I just want to make that clear, right? So like a team leader in my teams, they're not responsible for providing leads, so to speak. Although we do provide them with leads, but that's not what they're responsible for. What they're responsible for is to make sure that they're held to their goals and accountability. Because again, everybody's different. We have agents on the team that aspire to be luxury agents. We
Different
have
birds.
Yeah, exactly. Different birds, man. We have agents that want to be black badge. They want to close. I have an agent that they're set to close 50 this year. They want to close 50. And then the minimum to be on our team, because we don't want warm bodies. We really want people that are there to work, kind of sifting through it, right? So the minimum is 6. So we have from 6 to 50. We have vacant land to commercial. We have common residential to luxury. So we just kind of work with the agent individually on what their business success idea is. And then quarterly, we have evaluations that say, hey, are you meeting your mark? Why or why not? And let's try to keep pushing forward there. That's all. So it's kind of simplified in that way, but then the execution is where most people have a trouble with, right? Like, how do you execute something like that? And a lot of times people, especially here at LPT, they look at me as like the lofty or the CRM guy. And just like with that CRM, when people kind of want that education, it's kind of like off-putting to me, and it's almost borderline offensive, because what they'll want is like,
I'm a national organizational developer.
Yeah, and they're like, well, hey, teach me this CRM, and I tell them like, okay, well, here, sit with me for an hour, to the point where they're like, all right, look, I my brain's turned, and it's like, man, if you knew the time I've spent on this to get the result you're seeing in this moment,
right,
you would truly be able to understand that it doesn't happen that way, right? Like, so when people do see what I present with my team and what we offer for team and stuff like that, I open it up. You guys will see it today at the presentation. I open it in front of Joe as a team leader. I open it in front of you guys as team leaders. I open it in front of everybody, because what I know is it's just like what you guys are doing right now with your expireds and going after that. What you guys know is you can say that openly on a public forum, because show up, challenge accepted, right? That's kind of like the same thing. Like, you guys are confident that, look, this knowledge that you've obtained, it's out there for everybody.
That's right.
But who's going to show up and do it? Exactly. And that's really where the team leaders are so important, to set the example of, hey, this is what we do in this area. Right. And if you want to do it too, follow my lead. Right. And if you don't want to, well, I hate to say it, but you're the 74% of this industry that currently exists.
It's that accountability that really makes the difference.
The ego gets in the way every time. Ego is what stops people most of the time from making money. If Absolutely. You really digest that, it's the truest thing in business, right? Because at some point, even when you're at rock bottom, your ego is going to get in the way of what's potentially there to make money, right? Mm-hmm. Right? And I think everybody right now can think about some of those dark things that people do for money that none of us as respectable people probably would do, right? But that's our ego at some point that gets in that way, because what defines a good person, right? That's your ego talking. So in business, it's always the ego that stops the person from moving forward to prosper. I truly believe that.
Man, I was just as you said that, I just was thinking about I had a house that I'm selling. Somebody stole the AC, the air conditioner, just for the copper in a vacant house that I'm selling. Oh,
and you're cursing them, right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
but guess what? They got paid, bro.
They got paid. The things that they do for money.
They got paid.
Someone go give that man an ego trip.
I bet that, man. They got paid that day. Right?
It's out of control.
But, hey,
I didn't get paid. I'll tell you that.
How many times have we all been hungry when we drive by 55 AC units on the way home? Yeah. We're not robbing them.
We are not giving idea. We're talking good people, bad people. We legit business. So, hey, look, man.
I don't always give the best examples. I'm going to say that.
Thank you for your time today.
Absolutely.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Vinny Anello, Jeff Iglesias, Tyler Wynn, Joe Flores at the Blue Gray Studios. This is Tampa Live, and we're looking forward to many more episodes where we'll bring in guests to kind of help encourage the audience at all times, but we wanna help grow Tampa Bay and introduce also cross-brand network with leaders in other communities to come in with Tampa Bay. One thing, it's not a competition thing. We're open book. We're trying to collaborate. So hey, appreciate you guys for the time today. We had a good run. Do you have any last things to say, Vinny and Jeff? Just kind of.
I just want to thank Willem again for being here. This is awesome. It was great to hear you talk about your national organization that you're putting together. I love seeing it grow. I follow you. It's great to see everything that you've been able to accomplish in this short time that you've already done it. Can't wait to see where you take it. And Joe, thanks again thanks again to Tyler for hosting us having us here at Blue Gray Mortgage. This place is beautiful. Yeah. The view's incredible. And I look forward to coming back and doing many more of these.
Yeah, so see you guys next go around, and we're out. Peace.